Good frosty morning. Welcome back to our garden. Today we need to keep working in the front. We're going to be chopping and dropping the old plants. But first, let's go collect all the supplies. Most we left in the front on the porch, but there's a few we need to get from the garage, so come on. Now let's see how the straw flowers are drying that we harvested. Those are looking really good. And none of them have exploded into puffballs. First, let's go ahead and feed the birds and the squirrels. Now last night it got down to 26 degrees. It was cold. So yesterday we took the green stalk planters along the side of the house and unstacked them, put them on the ground, and put them to bed for the winter to protect them from the cold. So we put the front garden work on hold to work on this. I'll post the video of that after we do the front garden series. Now when the sun starts peeking around this corner, we'll uncover them so that they get the light and the warmth. Now the goal today is to chop and drop the old plants, and we're going to leave them there to compost in place over winter. So 2 days ago it was raining. And 3 days ago, we prepped the front. But now we're going to get back to work on it. First, I want to pull up all these stakes. I used them to support the plants. And we're going to pull up these rings. I use those to protect baby plants from me stepping on them. So we're going to put all this stuff in the wagon first. This one's stuck. We'll have to go back and cut it because the zinnias grew all back through it. Now you're going to notice all these green posts that I've left in the ground. This is because our neighbor warned us that this young man was running and jumping over this little fence every day. So I put those stakes there because I don't want him to hurt himself or to ruin our plants. Now we're going to leave all these because the straw flowers, they're still alive. They're still producing flowers. We still have strawberries. It's because this is the warmest spot. It gets a lot of sun, and I think those bricks are holding the heat too. We actually picked a fully ripe one this morning. I'm really happy with this brand. I'm going to put it down in the description. I'll put a link. Now this part's really thick. It's really hard to cut. And I could use my big old loppers, but I really don't have the time or energy for that. So I have a compost pile behind there that I'm going to use. It's just going to compost in place. That's where I put all the sunflowers that grew along here this summer. I found one that was hiding. Now this is going to compost real slowly. I don't turn it or anything. I just leave it. And that soil becomes really rich in that area. Dry okra seeds. They are so easy to save, but I already have plenty in the house. The okra grows really well right here. It gets the most sun. But it's been done a long time ago. Here in north central Maryland, okra is a challenge for me to grow, but I can't find good fresh okra here. And the frozen kind is just lousy, so I have to grow it myself.
Good morning.
Now our plan is to chop and drop the old plants in place and then cover everything with cardboard. The old plants and the old mulch, they'll just break down underneath and become rich new soil. Now, if you notice, the strawberries grow along the edge because I can't cover them with the cardboard. They come back every year, but if you block them, they're not going to regrow. So I take the cardboard right up to the edge of them, and I leave that place open. And that next year will also help them retain moisture. I found a small baby okra. I almost didn't see it. And some trash. When you live in an urban downtown setting like we do, trash is going to blow in. Now, if you've noticed all the weeds in the volunteer plants like this, now remember, since we're going to sheet mulch this with cardboard, they're not going to grow again next year. So I'm not going to take the time to pull them out. I'm just going to leave them and they're going to break down. Now this very front part, I'm not going to cover with cardboard because remember, we have spring flowering bulbs and we can't block it so they grow in the spring. But I am going to weed this area. Yeah, that looks much better. Now there's a lot of strawberry runners, and some of the strawberries are really full. I'll trim those runners, but some of the areas are really thin and I want more plants to grow, so I'm going to go ahead and pin down those runners. November too. Now there are ever-bearing strawberries along this front edge. They're going to produce fruit all summer until it gets too cold. They're new this year, and I'm really pleased with how fabulous these have done. Now up here close to the stairs, there are the traditional summer, June bearing strawberries. They tend to fruit from May to June, and then they're done. These right here. This is what we have in the back garden. Now later, I want to train the runners from the everbearing to run all the way up to the stairs and replace those June bearing. I really like those everbearing. They produce less and supposedly smaller fruit, but for a longer period of time. Now we're going to leave most things on the porch when we come back tomorrow to get to work and lay down the cardboard. And we're going to keep it in place with pins. Storage space is always a challenge. What do I always say? Remember to close the garage door because the skunk will sleep inside. See here? You see those holes? The squirrel's been digging. And that's why we had to protect the garlic that we just planted. So we've already prepped the front garden. We harvested a few things, some fennel, some mint, and all those straw flowers. Then today we chopped and dropped the old plants. Now there's a lot of plants that I pulled a long time ago. It was really full of zinnias that we enjoyed all summer. And planted amongst everything was ginger, and we harvested that too. But the few things left we chopped and dropped today to let them compost in place. And tomorrow we're going to go back and we're going to sheet mulch it and lay down the cardboard. And day after tomorrow, we'll put down the mulch. Now here in the back garden, we're using leaves for mulch. But in the front, being a busy street with a lot of traffic, I don't want the leaves to blow in the street and cause problems. So I bought bags of wood mulch. This is the secret to my success of growing a lot in a very small space with very limited watering. Sheet mulching in the fall with cardboard, cover with mulch, either leaves or wood chips, straw or hay. That is really what allows me to grow so much in this small area. I've been doing it for about 11 years now. Thank you for visiting our garden. See you later. Bye-bye.